Hey, welcome back. Today I want to chat with you about my top 12 reasons to avoid alcohol. So, this video has been inspired by and through my own personal experience with alcohol, my education, and common topics that come up in the groups that I facilitate. Feel free to add your own reasons to moderate drinking in the comments. Reason number one. Are you daydreaming about a sober life? Maybe you're done with the hangovers. Maybe you're done questioning why you're drinking in general. Maybe you find yourself wishing you could be sober, but for whatever reason, you just haven't been able to go there. So sometimes moderating alcohol intake initially and then going into full-on abstinence can be helpful. But generally, if you're thinking about being sober and wishing you could be sober, it's a good time to maybe take some action towards that. Are you having difficulty looking at yourself in the mirror? If we're harboring feelings of guilt and discomfort and drinking to excess, it only makes it worse. It may be time to do some inner work rather than wearing a mask and pretending that everything's okay. Next up is health. Is alcohol causing or exacerbating a current health condition? Or are you interested in prevention right now? So, prevention could show up as wanting to avoid alcohol because you want to avoid dementia. Maybe you have dementia in your bloodline, or you have diabetes or a heart condition. So, these are all really important considerations in terms of how much alcohol you're going to consume or if you're going to abstain completely. Putting yourself and others at risk. So I'm sure all of you can come up with reasons for this list. Could be intoxicated driving, cooking or forgetting to turn off the stove, smoking in bed, maybe waking up and discovering that you vomited in bed or there was broken glass nearby. The list is endless, I'm sure. Feel free to add in the comments something that rings true for you if you want. Emotion regulation challenges. It's really common to not want to sit with our feelings, but there are long-term repercussions from pushing down our emotions with alcohol. Just want to remind you that alcohol is a depressant. So if you're someone who experiences sadness on a regular basis, alcohol is definitely not a good go-to. Also, hangovers can exacerbate anxiety. So if you try to cope with anxiety, that can only be um, become worse with alcohol too. So I am aware that some people like to have a drink to um, make it more comfortable to go to a party if you're somebody who has issues with social anxiety, for example. But just to keep in mind that usually the benefits in terms of helping us with emotions where alcohol goes are short term, not long term benefits. Maybe you need to get your life in order. Are you coping with or not coping well with chronic procrastination? Maybe you're experiencing a lot of avoidance, lacking boundaries, feeling overwhelmed. Is your to do list out of control? How's this showing up for you in terms of needing to get your life in order? Relationship challenges. Are your significant connections, such as family, friends, or your partner, making comments about your substance use, perhaps in a negative light? Are your finances a mess? Cutting out alcohol can help turn around financial hardships. It can be beneficial if you have money related long term goals. Maybe you want to go back to school, buy a house, travel, buy a car, get out of debt. Next up, is your livelihood at risk? Have you been suspended from work because of your alcohol intake? Or Are you getting significantly behind in your studies if you're a student? This can show up in a number of different ways, but I think it's a good reason to look at your use if your livelihood is being affected. Sleep disruption. If alcohol is chronically disrupting your sleep patterns, it needs to be addressed because we need good sleep, not only for our cognition, but also for building and repair and cleansing. So we want to be good to our bodies so our bodies can be good to us. Hair of the dog. So needing to drink in the morning to feel normal or to calm the shakes is definitely a warning sign of dependence, and I would suggest it's a good time to make an appointment to see your doctor to have that um, communicated with your doctor. And finally, number 12, your values. Perhaps drinking alcohol doesn't align with your values or the best version of yourself. For example, one of the reasons I abstain is to be authentic in my role as a recovery coach. When I first stopped drinking, it was important for me to be a good role model for my daughter. So it started out as moderating, and then eventually I fully abstained because I want to be authentic in my role as a recovery coach. So that doesn't mean it's not important for me anymore to not be a good role model for my daughter. But in Smart Recovery, we talk about the hierarchy of values. So our values shift as we change. In recovery, we go through a lot of changes, and our reasons for moderating or abstaining fully can shift as we change. So it's a great idea to tap into how you're feeling. What matters to you right now? Do other behaviors in your life maybe not align with who you are right now? So we can talk about it in terms of alcohol, but other substances or behaviors in your life as well. So I think that's really important to have on this list is values. In summary, alcohol can have benefits in our lives as well as significant costs. I invite you to consider your relationship with alcohol. Would you be better off without it or with less of it? So I thank you for joining me. Feel free to share other reasons to moderate your intake or abstain from alcohol in the comments below.